Let's talk about boobs, baby. Let's talk about me and these titties and how I manifested them into my reality for 10 years. Yes, I know this is a funny topic, but I like to be super authentic about myself and the things that I move through in my life, anything from emotional to physical. And something that is trending right now is the size of boobs. So let's just talk about mine and how the process was like for me on both a spiritual and physical level. So let's just start right away by saying I manifested these boobs for 10 years. 10 years before I got them. And it was hard work. And I manifested these through so many different ways, so many different outlets. I journaled about them. I envisioned myself with them. I would buy clothes for the specific reason of this will look good when I have boobs. And this happened for 10 years. Now, to preface, I am extremely scared of surgery. I don't even like the dentist. So you can imagine that there was an immense amount of fear with committing to something like a literal surgery. Going under scares me. I'm a nauseous person. I'll throw up, so on and so forth. It was just not my cup of tea, but I wanted it so freaking bad. I also vision board about it. I also would do physical things like wear a Victoria's Secret bombshell bra so that I looked like I had bigger boobs always. My bathing suits were always padded, always push up. But I have an interesting relationship with boobs. So first of all, when I was in high school, I had great boobs. And then I ended up having a child when I was 18, sucked the life out of me. Now, something interesting, if you're a mom and you're watching this, you know that when you have a child, even if you don't breastfeed, when your boobs fill up with milk, it literally looks like you got a boob job. So your girl was living for that experience. But when that milk dried up, so did my tits. Gone, not pretty, didn't love, very small. So I went from being like a perky, big B, small C type of boob to an A. And it was pretty quick. And I didn't love that. Then I went on to have 2 more kids. Again, same fluctuation. And I was like, that's it. She's getting the boobs. I'm tired of being a member of the small titty committee. It doesn't look good on me. These shoulders were not built for small boobs, if you know what I mean. So all that manifestation happened for years and years where I was quite literally living and breathing big boobs in every way, shape, or friggin' form. I'd also like to be clear and say that I didn't get a boob job for anyone else. This was not a decision I made for a man or to be a model or to look a certain way. This was purely for me and upgrading some hardware that I had. And I absolutely feel that it was the best decision I have ever made in my entire life as far as my physical appearance goes. I am obsessed with them. I was obsessed with the experience. It was so lovely. So let's friggin' get into it. We discussed on how I manifested this, and I used every single manifestation method possible. Also, side note, if you have not read about the 12 laws of the universe, I would definitely read that because that book tells you how to manifest successfully by using the 12 manifestation laws, such as visualization, surrendering, vibration, frequency, all of these things. So I would definitely recommend doing that because for this scenario, I did all of those things to manifest these boobs. And yes, it did take a while, but it did happen and I had a wonderful experience. So there's that. So let's talk about my experience as far as the surgery goes. So I already mentioned I am fearful of surgery. Don't love surgery. But I had the absolute best doctor on the entire planet and I will use him a million more times if I get any other procedure done, which I'm thinking about getting my nose done, which is wild because I got the boobs so that nobody would even look at my nose. But I'm thinking about going to him for that. Anyways, I will put his Rex in the comments below as well, but he is absolutely phenomenal. He's in Massachusetts, he's in Miami, he's amazing. And he made me so comfortable. I had talked to 3 other doctors in the area before deciding to go with Mark. And the other ones I talked to, I just didn't love, to be honest with you. I didn't get a warm energy from him. And you know me, I'm an intuitive person. So if I feel energetically like uncomfortable or anxious around somebody, I am not hanging out with you. I'm not sure as shit not getting a surgery from you. So with that being said, I had a virtual consultation for free with this man. It was lovely. And then I went into his office. He listened to me. He got me to try on the bra. He put in the boobs. Perfect. I asked him a few questions because I considered a lift. He was like, you know what? Not right now. He was super honest, super not trying to sell me on anything. He was like, maybe in the future, not now. He was just so kind. He was giving daddy energy, if I'm being honest. And I hope he doesn't watch this. Anyway, so I did that. Now, there were a few things that I loved about my surgery and a few things that I didn't. The first thing, and by the way, I ended up getting 375 cc of silicone. That was, I think it was partially under the muscle. To my knowledge, it was majority under the muscle, like a tiny bit is not sticking out, but whatever. And they look very, very natural. And to be honest, I love these boobs. They are 10 out of 10, but next time they're going to look fake intentionally. Anyways, so the whole pre-op was absolutely phenomenal. I ended up going in to get my surgery, I believe on a Monday, and I went right in. The team was amazing. Doctor came in, marked me up, which is funny because his name is Mark. And I got the surgery. I was done in, I think, 2.5 hours. Absolutely amazing surgery, amazing team, amazing service, amazing. However, I've mentioned that your girl gets nauseous. They did give me a patch on the neck for my nausea. They also gave me nausea medication. But I had to drive home after my surgery for like 45 minutes. I was high as a fucking kite, and I also was so car sick and nauseous. So my poor friend, she puts me in the car. She's so sweet to me. Picked me up in air at the hospital, drives me home. She is talking to me, and I am eating saltines the entire way home, like chatting, eating. I'm like, I'm so sick, I'm gonna throw up. She's going over potholes, and I'm like cringing because I'm nauseous. My muscles are so sore. I can like feel them a little bit. I'm like dry heaving in the passenger seat. She's like laughing. She's like, Alicia, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I'm going over a bump. And I'm like, please get me home now. Got home, got into my bed, and passed the fuck out. Once I woke up from that and the nausea was gone, 10 out of 10. Amazing experience. Now, some people, I have a really high pain tolerance, so I don't want to come on here and say it was the easiest thing, but I anticipated it to be like, I can't move. They say 6 weeks, no lifting, no pushing, no pulling, no vacuuming, like nothing. I was good after like 2 days. Granted, I couldn't like lift my arms fully. What was surprisingly hard was when I peed, I couldn't wipe or pull up my underwear. So my mother helped me for that. Yeah. The other thing that was surprisingly difficult is I couldn't open anything. Like I couldn't open a water bottle, a thing of Tylenol. I also did not take a single painkiller the entire time that I was recovering. So that's my scenario. And then 6 weeks later, or was it 2 weeks? 2 weeks later, I went in and I got my bra taken off. I had phenomenal, like right away, he took off that bra and he was like, they look good. Like you healed so good. And I was good to go. First thing I did, I went and brought like cute little lacy bras. It was amazing. Anyways, that was my surgical side and my recovery from my boob job. Here we are now 3 years later, and I absolutely love them. Would do it a million times more. I'm telling you, they look so amazing. I wish I could show you. They are my favorite things. So absolutely love the way they came out. And I also feel so successful in the way that I manifested this into my reality. And like I said, and this is a little tip for you guys, this was a 10-year manifestation, 10 years. There was a period of time, just to add like a little layer, in 2014. 2014, 2015, I had saved money to get a boob job and I backed out. And I backed out because of everybody's criticism of me getting a boob job. Everyone was like, you don't need one, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I chickened out because of that. And I actually lost $1,000 because I put down a deposit somewhere. So I could have gotten them done earlier if I had listened to myself. Now, the double-edged sword there is if I had listened to myself then, I don't know if I would have found such a phenomenal doctor that I love so much. And so it's like a double-edged thing. It was perfect timing. What's really crazy is that when I got the surgery, I was on kind of this like on-call waiting list with this doctor, essentially meaning that they were going to call me and tell me some dates that opened up as they opened up. And so it was a Friday and the doctor's office called me and they were like, do you want to get the surgery on Monday? And I was like, what? They were like, wire the rest of the money and we'll put you in on Monday, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, yep. Down. I didn't ask anybody. I didn't do it. I literally was like, yes, I'm getting the boob job done. And I had to wire them money, get babysitters for my kids, have backup for me, call out of work. Like there was so much stuff I needed to do and it was chaotic, but it was so divinely timed because I'm telling you, there are circumstances that we won't get into in this video, but there were circumstances that happened soon after that boob job. It was in April of 2022, that I wouldn't have been able to afford this boob job if I didn't do it when I did it. And so there was so much divine intervention here. But my point being is that this was such a manifested scenario. I envisioned it. I felt it. I desired it. I looked for it. I would look at pictures of myself from when I had big boobs, like when I was breastfeeding, and I'd be like, I'm getting these boobs. This is what I want. I actually showed a picture of my milk-filled boobs to my surgeon so that he had inspo as to what I wanted to look like. And here we are. I'm so serious. Best thing I ever did. So I just genuinely wanted to say that like spirituality, I know I've said it before, isn't always about crystals and like believing in the moon or following like the zodiac season and manifestation hacks. It's also just about embodying your goals and your belief systems. And if you can envision it and you can see it for yourself, then you can definitely achieve it. So I wanted this to be a very silly, just light topic on manifestation and how it can come into your reality. So whether it's a soulmate, a purse you really want, or a bombshell boob job like I got, you can achieve it if you decide that it's meant for you and you believe that it's meant for you. So take that as a sign to lean into your highest timeline, even if it is a boob job. So I hope this helped. I love you guys so, so much. And I hope that you got a little bit of a laugh throughout this vlog post all about my boobs. Let me know if you think my boobs look real or fake. I want to hear it. Love you.